So admittedly here, I took a pretty aggressive trade. I was looking for a way to get in here, but I didn't see a really clean signal bar, so I didn't take anything. And then I had a feeling it was going to push higher because as you can see, it pushed up. We were in a really strong uptrend day. It didn't really correct much. It actually went sideways. I still think it's going to go up and try to retest some of the highs up here from previous days. If you look at the history, we're at 37.69 right now, so 37.73. That's the previous high that I can see. And if I was a gambling man, which I'm not, I'm more of a little more conservative than use the word gambling. But if we can stay inside of this bar and pop above this bar, I think 773 will be the next area that gets touched. So we'll see how that works out. We could also go back to this point right here, in which case I should probably take the smaller loss instead of trying to open up my opportunity for loss by putting it below the 20 EMA. So 21 EMA. So we'll see. What I'm really looking for is for prices to stay inside this big bar, inside this little guy. And if it does that, then I think we're looking good. I may have to pull the stop back a little bit though. And that's just to watch out for a spike. So if I have it here, that means we've totally killed this candle. This is an inside, this is an inside of an inside, and this is an inside of an inside over here, but not of this one. So one of these really need to pop up. The only reason I moved my stop down was because I didn't want it to just quickly dive down, come back up, and then hit my area here. The only reason I would do that is on a day like today where we have extremely strong upside bias and momentum where the price is really trying to charge. So if we get above the 69.75, this is going to be my target. That's 73. And if we get above it and we start coming back down into this area, it'll probably be time to get the heck out. So we'll see what happens here. So what I'm looking for here is another push. So this guy is a 60, 66.50 to 69.75, 66 to 69. That's about 3 points. So it's reasonable that we should get somewhere in here about 2 to 3 points out of this guy. And I'm not going to move it up. I'm going to play it a little safe. I'm usually going to bring it down a little bit further and make it easier for me to get clicked in because I already have a profit and I just don't feel like taking a loss on any more trades. But I will give this a little bit of room. Now, having done that, I'm going to move my stop up to the 68.50 because if it goes that low, I've officially overstayed my welcome. Right now, 37.71.25 is the number to beat. So let's see what happens there. Okay, we can see we're pushing. My guess if it goes over, my guess is if it goes over 71.25, which is right here, it'll probably pop a couple more ticks. And you know what? I'm actually not going to move my take profit. I may even move it down further to try to get this price to coax me out. Okay, you can see price keeps trying to push, keeps trying to push. We're on a really strong day today though, so I'm trying to remain calm and just allowing this to pop over. It pops over with some push. I may move this to 73, and you can see it's really trying to think. So I'm going to move it up. Let's see if it pops up here into the 72s. And this will also be slightly bullish here on the shorter term time frame because as you can see, it kind of left us a little tail. And sometimes we would even want to put a little an order in right here so that as it goes down and then comes back up, it might take us in and push us higher. So as you can see, it hasn't quite failed, but it hasn't quite really delivered the push that I wanted. So I'm going to bring this down even further to see if it wants to take me out at a small profit. And I'll even chase this thing down to keep myself from losing money. Okay, price is not acting the way that I would like it to, so I'm even willing to just get out here and call it a day. Again, I took what I would consider a pretty aggressive trade, trying to go after this big bar. I let it come down. It worked. I let it come all the way up. I had about, let's see, what did I get in here? Let's just spend a minute to break down this trade. So this last one, I got it at 69.75. So 69.75 is right about here. So I got it right here. And it came up quite nicely all the way to here, 71. So about 1 3/4 point, but then it started coming back down, and I could tell it was wanting to close on the bottom here, so I just got out. I don't want to mess with it. I've got a decent profit. I haven't taken any losses today, and I still got to pay fees, and I'm trading 6 contracts at a time, and I'm not taking these really large moves, so I will have to pay a lot in fees. So I'm okay with just taking my little bit and going home. I still expect it to reach this area, but if it starts turning down really in earnest, I'll be happy to follow it down too. So